yesterday, and I went into this restaurant and I called and I'm like, "Hey, Tony," I said, I'm looking for, go and pick up some salads and stuff
Mm-hmm.
for Cedric. And he's like, "Oh, you're outside?" I'm like, "Yeah." He says, "Do you want me to bring it in?" I'm like, "Yeah." Do you want to come in or you want me to bring it out? So I went in to visit with him. And the interesting thing that he was sharing, I was sharing how is he getting along with his business. He's had to lay off all the workers there. He's cooking, he's preparing lunch
Yeah.
meals and taking orders. So it's very uncomfortable for everybody. We are in roles that we've never played before, and relying on team members to assist us in our businesses. And so that's uncertainty.
Yeah, people are dealing with loss of just security, loss of stability. People are their jobs. Some maybe you haven't lost your job, but you're concerned about losing your job. You're concerned about for a lot of people, their job was literally their purpose. For a lot of people,
Right.
they got up every day and they would go to that job because that was really what made them feel like they were somebody. For a lot of people, they've lost hope. They're losing hope. We're here in the Texas area, and for a lot of things, it's not in our area. We're not feeling it as traumatic as some of the people that we're connected to.
And I think a lot of that is because Texas is so big and we're so spread out. Would you
Yeah,
say, there's a lot of space in between us in neighborhoods and in the communities. Where in, your metropolitan cities like New York,
yeah.
where our baby is, people are stacked on top of one another, and it's not there's hardly any way to get away from people.
Yeah, there's a lot of just the fact of loss of life. People we're contacting been contacted by people who have lost loved ones, lost friends. Maybe there's just people around you that are passing away, and that causes a level of stress, a level of anxiety, a level of fear, like there never has been before, not in our lifetime. And then there's the issue of being in close quarters
Is that
all the
I need
time.
my space.
Yeah,
I need my
there's a
space.
situation where we're Michelle and I, we work with each other every day. We serve every day. We're both we're pastors. We are counselors. And we're husband and wife. So we're with each other all the time, but we're with each other even more now. We're with each other, and that for a lot of people that's a problem. I had a gentleman tell me the other day. He said this quarantining, this what they call it, sheltering in place,
Right.
is causing it's testing my nuptials. That's the comment that he made. That this is really, this being that close together all the time for a lot of people. And then we're empty nesters. So it would be wonderful to have our children here, at least we think. Um, it would be wonderful to have them here, and our grandkids, we haven't been able to see them. I've seen my son. He came out. My birthday was Sunday. He came out, but he's the only one we've seen. We have a son in New York, and we're very concerned about him. We have a daughter that's down on the southern part of Dallas. We're concerned about her, but we haven't. But for a lot of people, this being close together
Right.
is an issue. It's the monotony of it, of every day with all the kids, with my wife. I'm right here under her. It's a
So
problem.
so the problem is we have never had an opportunity to deal with the things that we are uncomfortable with facing. So I think that's what a lot of it is. You're now there's no workaround.
Yeah, you have
There's a,
to
you have to face.
those little things that you've been able to ignore. It's like, you know what? I get to go away from my wife. Michelle has gotten on my nerves all weekend, but on Monday morning I get to go away and I get to spend 9 hours. That's for the normal person.
Right.
And then so we can. I'm so okay. I dealt with some other stuff. I had some distractions. Now I can come back home and we can deal with it. That's not the case now for a lot of people. The close quarters and the monotonous living of being there every day is becoming problems.
And I would say also, in conjunction with that, is the expectations.
Mm,
That was our first wave.
yeah.
Our first wave was that we're in this quarter, we're in this environment together, and we're still working, we're still doing our jobs, but we're doing it here at the house.
Right.
And there's not a cafe downstairs that we can go to. I don't mind doing the coffee in the morning, but coffee
Yeah.
and breakfast and lunch, and then all of that in between dinner
And snacks. Don't forget
and,
snacks.
and then cleaning up. That was just like
That's the problem. I
that's not
didn't. That was
so.
was,
So the
the life is
expectation
good.
was overwhelming. The first week was okay. I can do it. We're still trying to get our groove. But that second week, I was really, truly being stressed out about it and I was not communicating. I was just kind of thrown off, not communicating, not addressing Cedric in any, giving him the little
Yeah.
stink
So
eye.
here's the deal. Here's the deal. Because my job is to pay attention and communicate. I noticed something was wrong, and that's one of the first things that we're going to share, especially when you're in close quarters with one another, is listening not just with your ears, but listening with your eyes, listening with actions, listening as best you can, because during that situation, I noticed Michelle was slightly different. She'd come in and, in the evening, we finished working and we come watch, but we're watching TV, but there was a little, as we say, a little stank on the sitting and watching TV with me. And I asked, what's wrong? And she shared that the expectation. She said, Cedric, I just need you to know that my expectation is that I don't mind cooking, but I need help cleaning. I don't want to have to pick up after you all the time. And I received that. I appreciate it.
But you know what? Let me say this. It took me 2 weeks to be able to communicate that. Okay. Because, even though I know this man, love him, but I knew what was going on in my mind. I wanted to really lash out, but I had to do a lot of self-talking. And because I wanted the best results of letting him hear me, so I had to pray and really contemplate about how I was going to best communicate to Cedric in this situation.
So here's the deal. I shared with you last week, and I want to share with you this week. Here's what we're giving you in order to deal with some of the things. We're going to give you a couple of solutions and suggestions as to what you can do. But the first thing we want you to implement this this system, if you will, and the system is called START. It's called START, right? It's a system for turning, for arresting, and for rerouting your thinking, right? So START, system for turning, arresting, rerouting your thinking. Because the battlefield, the problem is, what am I thinking? Most of our issues exist up here. Most of the problems exist in our mind. And if we can get that area under control, then we can start to handle it differently. People do what they do because they believe what they believe. The beliefs are in our thinking or in our mind, and we need to change. We need to turn the way we're thinking, turn that thing, arrest that thing, and start to redirect or reroute how we're thinking. Okay, so we want you to start there. That's number one. And then we want you to do some self-evaluation. What Michelle is talking about is that she had to do a little self-evaluation.
I sure did.
She had to do some self-talk. Now is a very good time. But here I have a question. Okay, it's cool. You can, you did some self-talk with you, and then you came and talked to me.
Right.
What if I'm single? What if I'm alone? What if I'm by myself? What do I do then?
Well, what I would suggest, if you're single and you're alone, I would say journal your thoughts. Because a lot of times when you're journaling, you get it out of your mind. I mean, because even we're being married, I had a journal. I had to journal my thoughts, and then I was able to evaluate my thinking, see it on paper, to really look at the truth in what I was writing through my anger, anxiety, or stress, whatever it was.
I don't know why.
But, I would suggest, if you're single and you're by yourself alone, I would suggest journaling.
Yeah, I think that's self-talk, journaling, getting it out, and then go back and reread. What am I doing? And then always ask the question why, right? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I thinking this? Why? So forth and so on. You can do that. And then you can come to a more of a resolution. But if I keep it in my head, quite often it gets jumbled up in there and I get frustrated. Another thing.
And we start believing it
Oh
all
yeah,
over
yeah,
again.
yeah. And quite often we'll make. We talked about the lack of hope, the lack of purpose, and we'll make things worse because we keep it in our head. If you have the opportunity to reach out, sometimes to reach out to somebody, don't go get with another negative Nancy, somebody that's just going to exacerbate the problem. You need somebody that's going to speak hope, somebody that's going to be uplifting in the conversation with you. So be mindful of that. The next thing that's very important and that's problematic in this situation is space. We talked about it a little bit, but understanding that, a lot of people don't have a lot of space. Michelle and I are blessed at the point to where she can go to her office during the day. I can go to my office during the day, and we work. We come together. We'll collaborate. We'll even call each other in the house. But at the end of the day, we can come back together and we feel like we've had a little space. Not everybody can do that, but you can designate. My suggestion would be for you to designate, even let's say you have a 1-bedroom, 900 square foot place, whatever, but what you don't want to do is have everything in the exact same place. Make one area the workspace, right? This corner over here, that's the work. So when I leave that corner, I'm leaving work. When I leave that corner, I can close it off. If you have to get a sheet and cover it so you don't have to look at it.
Right.
So that things, you've got to have a change of attitude. When you leave work, you leave work. For those, the biggest problem I had when I started to work from home, this is when I was in corporate America, was that I would go in my office and I would stay there. I'd get up at 6 a.m, go in and close my door. And I'd stay there sometimes to 10 o'clock at night till my wife and I had to have a conversation. And she told me, Cedric, you're giving them way too much. And so what I would have to do, we agreed on a time. I'd come out and I would close the door to my office, not to go back in there and do any work. And unless it was an emergency, that was shut off. You're going to have to do the exact same thing so that you feel like you're getting away and your world isn't closing in on you. Sometimes you need some space to yourself.
I mean, one of the things that I've been doing through this pandemic is prioritizing myself. And because a lot of things that we do, we give out a lot, and that's who our hearts, and we're going to continue to do that all the time. But I know that if I don't prioritize myself, I normally typically go on a virtual walk with my buddy, and we go out and I'm walking for an hour. I come back in and that I give a little bit to myself. I'm having my meditation time, and it starts my day.
Right.
So I would say, definitely prioritize some time with yourself and get some exercise and try to eat as healthy as you possibly can to stay in good health.
But let me suggest this. Your thing might not be that other person's thing.
Right.
Your thing. So suggest it, because going for a walk in the morning is very healthy. Eating correct is very healthy, but don't push your thing on that other person, because that makes the walls close in even more, right? You have a suggestion, make a suggestion. Michelle has suggested for about 3 weeks that I get up and walk with her. Now, my doctor told me that I can't. I've got a back issue. So I am virtually praying and walking with her every morning. And when I get right, but what I did do, I've gotten our garage ready for the workout room. Yes. So I'm going to slowly do that. But I say all of that to say,
work together.
Don't push your stuff on that other person. Do you. Self-evaluation, self-improvement, do you. Another thing you can do is learn something new. There's free things. I want to give you a couple of things that you can do and this tool has a plethora of free training that's out there. It's called Alison.com. It's ALISON.com. It's a site that you can go out to. It has free information, free training, free certificates. Some of it does, eventually gets to some that the deeper you get, that has a cost. But for the majority of it is free training, free education that's out there, and it is of value. You've always wanted to learn how to do a spreadsheet. Go out there. It has several of them, that not to include, I call it YouTube University. Everything is out on YouTube. If you want to know how to catch a skunk, You can learn how to do it on YouTube. I know because I did it. I learned it on YouTube. It's out there. So learn something new. Duolingo, Duolingo dot. It's an app. Go on your phone. It's an app. You want to learn Portuguese, Spanish, French. Learn something new. Learn new Bible verses, right? Learn something new that you've always wanted to be more of a Bible scholar. You want to learn more. Get you one verse a week. Get you one verse a week and learn it. Commit it to memory. Study it. Go out and get a commentary. Find out more about exactly that. You knew the Lord's Prayer. You knew the 23rd Psalm. Study it in depth. Don't just know the words. Study it. You now are becoming more. It will mean more to you. You're learning more about that. There's so many things. Get in a meeting group, right?
And like I said, I have a virtual walking group that we walk every morning at 8 o'clock and talking and walking and exercising. And we had a conference call today, actually, a webinar with our team, the ministries in our building on the same floor. It was great because now we're able to know how to pray for them, know what's going on in their lives,
and just be in touch.
Just
touching.
It did my heart really well. I mean,
yeah.
Today to see everyone and everyone's doing so well. But the issue is I mean, I think the solution is we do not want to come out of this the same. I mean, that's my goal. I want to come out better. I want to come out of this a lot better. I want our relationship to be a lot better. Creating that safe environment. And that's what we do on a day-to-day basis in our office, is create an environment for people to come into our office that we counsel on, and create a safe environment for them to share with us some most intricate details that they have never shared with anyone. So we have to also do that for ourselves.
Right.
We have to constantly think, how can Cedric and Michelle be better? How can you have a better relationship with your mom? How can you have a better relationship with your siblings? This is a time for really searching our relationships.
I want to give you a couple of other things because we're coming down to the end of our time. How about helping others?
Oh, yes.
It makes a huge difference when you do something for somebody else. I call it stop practicing the science of meology, right? There's a certain part of us that are naturally narcissistic, certain part of us that are naturally focused on our own well-being. But what if we go out and help somebody else? I'm a police chaplain. I'm part of a great team of police chaplains here in the local area. And Thursday, now we've extended it Thursday through Monday. We feed the local first responders. Our church is a part of it. We're feeding the local first responders. The police officers, they're so appreciative. The firemen appreciative. The dispatchers, the EMT personnel. We're doing that to do something. And we have an Adopt a Cop program, because these guys are out there every day. Nurses, doctors, they're out there every day. They're on the front line. We get to shelter in place. We get to stay home. We get to stay safe. They're out there. So if you could do something to help somebody or help somebody who is helping somebody, know that it does something for your heart when you give.
Like yesterday when I was sharing earlier about what I picked up for Cedric. I picked him up his favorite salad. Yeah. And I was talking to Tony, and I was sharing with him about how we're serving the first responders. And he was like, Michelle, I have food that I prepare every day. Would that be a blessing? I can give you 7 trays of food for the police officers and for the firemen. And I'm like, yes. Yeah. So you never know, but just having a conversation with someone, how they are really wanting to connect and help out as well.
Sharing your heart to help can make a difference. And you'd be surprised how this thing, it'll catch like wildfire. Because right now people need an outlet. People need things to do. Maybe they're not the ones, but maybe they can join in with you to help somebody.
Let me share one thing.
Sure.
The beginning of the year, Cedric really felt that, we're talking about fundraising and campaigning and all that. And the one thing that came to his spirit was duplicate the heart,
Mhm.
heart fellowship,
Mm.
Healing Thine Hearts Ministries. And we were talking about duplicate the heart, but we're looking at now this with this pandemic, how we're trying to not just duplicate the heart and the vision that we thought to help support this ministry. And this ministry constantly needs support, don't get me wrong. But duplicating the heart and an ability to be more effective, just having a conversation with someone that I frequently serve as a restaurant is
Mhm.
ready to duplicate what he can do
Right.
to help our police and fire.
Right.
So yeah, I just think that is so,
Yeah,
God is so
just
amazing.
having the
Yeah,
conversation, having the
yeah.
conversation. So the last thing I want to say that you can do that can help is definitely to
Mhm.
pray for others, praying for yourself, pray for us.
Pray for us, most
We
definitely.
we are definitely trying to be out. We're doing this right now to hopefully it'll help somebody. Hopefully something has been said that'll make a difference. Make our goal is always to provoke the mind and provoke the heart. We believe that that's what God does. He wants to provoke your thinking and provoke your heart to make a change, right? So that your relationship with him is better. If your relationship with him is better, you're going to be better for mankind and for the kingdom. So what we do at Healing Nine Hearts, we work with relationships, we work with first responders, we work with veterans, we work with we serve as pastors, and we do a lot of things. And what we're gonna offer to you, and maybe somebody that you know, is a free session. Have them to call us. They can go out to our website and call our office. Our website is the easy one is www.hearts, that's HHEARTS.org, or they can do the long one, www.healingthinehearts.org, whichever one.
And I believe Renee will have a link on this website, on the Facebook page. And if you have any questions, you can always call our office at 972-833-4344. This is how we're going to duplicate the heart. We know that there are a lot of uneasiness out there, a lot of uncertainty, but we're offering our time to do a free online session with us for an hour. We're duplicating the heart because we hope that would have a chain reaction for
Yes.
you to duplicate the heart as well.
So during this time, I believe there has been a purpose in us slowing down. Again, we hear the news. I keep saying, don't watch the news 24/7. When you watch the news, have your remote in one hand and your Bible in the other, right? So be mindful of what's going on out there. Be mindful of your relationship with your mate, with your family, with your children. Be mindful of your relationship with yourself, and most importantly, be mindful of your relationship with God. If you need some help, reach out to us. Michelle just shared that we're giving, offering a free session. We would love to walk with you. We don't have all the answers, but we know somebody who does. So please come and give us a talk. Reach out to us. We love to chat with you, and
so that you can be real.
Yeah, be real. So join us here again Tuesday. No, I'm sorry,
Friday.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock next Friday. So you can say something.
Say something
with Sid and Michelle.
Say something with Cedric and Michelle.
All right. God bless you, and may He keep you as our prayer. Take care.